6 thrilling and interesting mysteries about bees that are sure to shock you. Why does the honeybee sting after it dies? Or what are the most dangerous bees on the planet that keep people after just one sting? And the way one can exploit the beehives of the forest is not surprising. Welcome back to Wildlife Adventure. I don't know if any of you here have ever been stung by a bee, so please comment and share that memorable experience in the comment section below. So dear guys, for a long time, bees have become an extremely familiar animal in human life. They bring many uses such as providing honeys for humans, playing a role in pollinating plants, etc. However, besides that, there are many interesting and unexpected things about this creature that you may not have discovered yet. So in today's video, let's join Wildlife Adventure to find out what surprises we have. First, let's learn about the process of reproduction and maturation of bees. Dear guys, bees are highly social insects like ants or termites. Bees live in colonies. Each colony has worker bees, queen bees, young bees, and has a clear division of work. Bees have a very large number of colonies, sometimes up to 25,000 to 50,000 bees. They live everywhere in nests, in hollows of trees, crevices of rock, bushes, in forests, or as improved nests and boxes made by the owner. Then how do they go through the process of reproduction and growth? According to Wildlife Adventure, there's only one queen bee in the hive and is a bee responsible for reproduction. The queen bee can lay 1,500 eggs per day. Queen bees are mainly born in the spring and the summer. The queen bee will lay about 1 million eggs within 5 years of their lifespan. And the bee state will consist of stages that are eggs would then develop into larvae and will then pupate and eventually develop into a complete bee. And the scary thing is that when mating is complete, the male bee will die. He sacrificed his son's life so that the next generation could be born. Bee eggs are very small, white and pear-shaped. After 3 days, the egg will develop into larva without legs and eyes. As the larva develops, it molts, shedding in our skin several times, and then the worker bee closes the nest hole with a waxy layer. In the sealed nest hole, the larva begins to build a cocoon around it and pupate. This process would develop the larvae into a complete bee with a full head, thorax, abdomen, wings, and legs. And at the end of the purple period, they bite off the closed cap and become out and develop into an adult bee. Right here, let's answer a question that many of you ask. Second, why do honeybees die after stinging? So dear guys, I have always had armies of hardworking and brave worker bees constantly watching carefully. This bee will become extremely aggressive if their nest is threatened or attacked. They are ready to destroy anyone who dares to touch their nest. The bee will secrete a chemical to warn other bees so that they fly out to the hive to fight with the enemy. That's why the whole swarm of bees flew into attack. However, there is a bitter truth for honeybees, that is when they rush to attack the enemy, even if it makes the opponent painful and writhing, they're cruel when they have to trade their lives. Unlike wasps, when sting they can pull out their stingers and fly away, honeybees are different. They will die when stinging mammals. The reason is because the structure of the honeybee stinger has serrated blade, like a javelin, with the aim of stabbing as deep as possible. When a bee stings a mammal, it digs deep into the skin to inject the venom and become trapped, forcing it out of the body along with a jolt of gastrointestinal tract, muscle, and nerves. This large wound in the abdomen will cause the bee to die a minute later. However, bees only die when they sting mammals or birds, and they can easily pull out their stinger if they sting other insects. And how long have you been eating honey? Have you ever wondered how people have exploited honey? Then you will have to watch the next part. Third, marvel at how natural honey is obtained. If you want to have the best quality, delicious, sweet, and natural standard honey bottles, you must mention white honey, a gift that nature has bestowed to human. However, this job is not as simple as eating honey, but the journey to get a white honey is extremely arduous and sweaty. The first is to determine where the hive is. Once found, it's necessary to have a skillful handling skills because wild bees are extremely aggressive. When they see someone intending to take a bite, they will attack and sting fiercely. There are many people still hospitalized. First, they have to wear the raincoat and net against bee. Then they gather forest leaves and tie them into the bundle and light a fire, smoke them to fly away and collect honey. It sounds simple, right? But when you witness thousands of worker bees flying directly in the face, The feeling is how terrifying it is. Not to mention with the high nest, climbing is very dangerous. After that, because also the grit and bring them back to squeeze the bile, filter it and put it in the glass bottle to sell. But the most terrifying thing is how the people of the ethnic group residing in the foothills of the Himalayas or Nepal are risking their life to harvest honey for the nest of the largest honeybees in the world. With the rope ladders, pole basket, and ropes, the people of Nepal use their super climbing and balancing skill to get honey on this mountain range. The bees here often nest on the most dangerous high cliff so that the other predators cannot touch them. But if you can't escape from animals, how can you escape from the hands of Nepalese people? Indeed, collecting honey is a dangerous and endurance task, requiring a mastery of the technique of climbing and balancing. So next, let's learn about extremely dangerous bee. If you're not careful, you'll lose your life like playing. Fourth, the most dangerous bees in the world. Friends, bees also have very gentle, harmless type that bring honey to life, but there's no shortage of scary bees. Just one of a sting is enough to take a people's lives. In the world, one of the species of bees that people tremble with fear just hearing the name is the Asian giant wasp. This is an insect native to temperate and tropical East Asia, known as the killer bee of its venom and ferocity. The Asian giant wasp had length of up to 5 centimeters and belonged to the top of the largest and most dangerous bees on the planet. According to the research, the venom attacked the nervous system and threatened the victim's life if they are not treated promptly after being stung by them. In Japan, the Asian wasp is known as the sparrow bee because of the large appearance. Wasps do not pay attention to pollen and nectar and can even crush mantis and some other large insects for food. And terrifyingly, every year in Japan, 30 to 40 people die from the sting of this giant bee. This number is much larger than the total number of victims killed by a bear or snakes. Equally haunting is the bumblebee. This species of bees belong to the family of brown-bellied wasps. The body has an interweaving of black and yellow chambers. This bee is known as the killer bee. Their venom, which has substances that cause anaphylaxis very quickly, is painful and swollen, causing severe damage to parts such as the liver and kidney. If more severe, it can cause respiratory failure leading to death. If there is wild wasps around you, it is best to leave quietly. Do not chase or beat in any way because this can cause the whole army to attack you. Plus, they get burned again and again, so don't be fooled by them. And in addition, there are also many other dangerous bees such as earth bee, demon bees, etc. are also assassins that haunt many people. And right now is the horrifying mystery of the super savage bee, like horror movie that will make you cry. Fifth, the terrifying mystery of bees turning their prey into zombies. Referring to zombies, everyone immediately thinks of horror zombie and scary movies. Surprisingly, the world of bees also has such brutal destroyers. A typical example is the tarantula hawk wasp, which is a parasite that specializes in attacking spiders. They paralyze the poisonous spider with successive sting. Despite being many times larger in size, the spider still couldn't stand it. It's quickly paralyzed by the venom for the sting. Despite its best effort, the spider eventually fell. Wasps will pull large prey back to the burrow and lay eggs in the spider abdomen. When the eggs hatch, the larvae will eat the spider flesh and live in the spider abdomen until adulthood, about 35 days. More savage is the ambulance bee, and the object they attack is the cockroach. When targeting prey, they will rush to attack and quickly transfer neurotoxin into the brain to capture. At this point, all the power of the cockroach is exacerbated. It moves under the control of the bee. During the breeding season, the mother bee does not kill but gives the cockroach an egg on its back. This egg will hatch after 3 to 4 days. The larvae begin to hatch and gradually eat away at the cockroach crackrass until the day of molting. The special thing is that despite eating and damaging the body of cockroaches seriously, these parasites still ensure that the victim can live for the next 4 days. It's not until the larvae accumulate enough nutrition and form a new cocoon inside the cockroach officially leave the world. And after a period of time the bees fully mature, punches hold out the host body and continues the vicious cycle of growing and parasitizing on new prey. And finally, we'll discover more super unique bees that you won't believe existed. Six, the weirdest bees in the world. The first is the supergiant bee. Recently, researchers discovered a species of monster bee that has returned to the Jasper after nearly 40 years of extinction. That's the giant bee. This is an Indonesian bee called Medatila peluto. It's up to 3.5 centimeters in length, of the 7 outer thumb, and with a wingspan of up to 6.4 centimeters, 5 to 6 times larger than a common honeybee rather than a medium-sized bee. The most brilliant in the bee family is the orchid bee, also known as Udalison, considered the most colorful group of bees in the world because their bodies have a very eye-catching iridescent color, such as green, yellow, and red. Even though it's so colorful, the species doesn't know how to make honey, only gets to collect pollen and make it red. But the most terrifying thing is that to mention the carnivorous bee called the vulture bee. Unlike other bees that rely on the pollen for nutrition, this bee only likes to eat meat, but it has to be the middle rotten meat to accept it. A team of University of California scientists hung pieces of the raw chicken from a tree, and 5 days later they discovered that the bees was crawling onto chicken that had begun to rot in the middle, using special teeth to cut the pieces of meat. They would then collect meat in small bags on their hind legs or swallow meat in their stomach. More amazingly, despite the different diets, the vulture bees still produce honey. It's so amazing, isn't it? And dear friends, recently, we've learned and discovered many thrilling, interesting, and equally surprising mysteries about bees. Which do you feel impressed with the most? Please leave a comment to express your views and share your opinions then. If you like this video, please give Wildlife Adventure a like, subscribe to the channel to always be the first to follow the best and latest video from Wildlife Adventure every day. Thank you for watching the video, and now say goodbye and I'll see you soon in the next video.